Karnataka Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar is facing another round of political negotiations following last week's cabinet expansion. The immediate task is to allocate portfolio to the newly inducted 19 ministers. Deputy Chief Minister G. Parmeswara says there is no confusion and the process will be completed soon. Shivakumar has been in Delhi meeting the Congress High Command over the allocation. But there is more than just portfolio distribution on the table. Sources say that the Congress leadership has also discussed a possible minor cabinet reshuffle. The move could make room for senior leaders who were left out of the recent expansion. Among those being discussed are Vijayanagar MLA M. Krishnappa and Baswaraja Shivananavar. Sources also say that the Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge has approved the induction of a woman legislator amid pressure over absence of any woman in the current cabinet. There is also speculation that two newly inducted ministers could be dropped to accommodate the new entrants. However, there is no official confirmation of these changes yet. The pressure is mounting because the Karnataka legislature's monsoon session begins on August 13th.
It is very difficult to pacify or satisfy everybody's demands. We have come close to 140 strength. We are around 140 MLAs and only hardly 33 of them can become. So it's very difficult to give proper regional representation, balance social representation. But whatever it is, the High Command has very earnestly and honestly tried to balance that out. And quite naturally, there will be some disappointment. And the Chief Minister himself is talking to the MLAs. The Chief Minister himself is pacifying. He's deputed people like us to talk to our colleagues. So whatever High Command decides is final.
So will Shivakumar simply complete the portfolio allocation, or are we looking at another cabinet reshuffle before Assembly session begins? On this issue, I'll be joined by Dr. Basavaraj Jitnal, senior journalist, Vijay Grover. He joins me from Bangalore, political analyst and someone who understands the Congress party very well, and Professor Chambi Puranik, political analyst. Thank you, Vijay. And thank you, Professor Chambi Puranik. Let me straight away go to Vijay. You know, it has become like an elastic. Last time we were talking, we said, well, you know, this is like a headache. Now, this is more like a headache. This is a migraine. Now, for the first time, the people will be dropped and new people will be inducted. I do not remember when was the last time this sort of a cabinet reshuffle has taken place in any Congress state government, where now you have to drop people to accommodate new people.
Karthikeya, that's the most ironic part of this entire thing that we are discussing at the moment. As to somebody who was sworn in just 9 days back, being asked to step down to make way for somebody else. I mean, how does it even make sense? I mean, the first question that comes to mind is the fact that was there merit that was taken into account, or was it just to keep people happy on the basis of their caste or region or something that the 19 people were sworn in? And who would be dropped? That is the first question. I mean, you are saying that so-and-so is less meritorious than somebody else who might be brought in, or what could be the criteria for first the dropping? Let's talk about the droppings first. And you know, you just played out the bite of Priyank Kharge. Priyank Kharge is certainly saying that he's been deputed by the High Command to convince people. Now, the fact is that if you look at Priyank Kharge's experience itself, he's much junior than an H.K. Patil or a R.V. Deshpande or a Dinesh Kundu Rao or T.B. Jayachandra, who's a 7-time MLA. So who's like, you know, I mean, it sounds very ironic that a person who has lesser political experience is being given the task of convincing the seniors. That is something which is very, very, you know, I mean, I couldn't digest this entire fact. And that is where we stand today. Who could be brought in? Yes, we know the names of people who are still unhappy and where they could be accommodated. Let's not even talk about the woman that, you know, it's something which is being raised as a question by the women folk of the state, not just the political thing, as to what is the perception. I mean, Rahul Gandhi talks about, you know, women empowerment. We are going to see a bill where women empowerment or, you know, Nari Saman bill was approved, supported by the Congress. And here you cannot make one woman minister. I mean, these are questions, you know, it's a very dichotomic situation where
it's like common, you know, Vijay, it's like common sense. You know, the organizations do that. Corporate companies do that in terms of representation. You know, people might say, you know, she's just being woke. But the fact of the matter is, you know, gender sensitivity is not being woke. You know, it should have just come automatically. Professor Puranik, is DK in control? I mean to say, which chief minister has to undergo all of this? People, when DK was the deputy chief minister, there was a great hype about him, the organizational man. It busts that myth.
D.K. Shivakumar, no doubt he is a very strong and capable leader. He knows how to face the rough weather or storms in political life. But in this particular case, I think in the first expansion he was okay, because High Command also gave names of people who are acceptable and all that. In the second expansion, there must have been some other calculations, the calculations in terms of who is going to help the party in the coming GBDA election and also 2028 election. If not 2029 is too far. So that's one aspect. Second thing is, Sarah, there are small districts which have been given 2 cabinet portfolios each, Koppal and Davangere. That is a second one. The third one is, as Mr. Govan mentioned, about the representation of women. You speak of 33% reservation, and in the parliament you are advocating for this kind of whatever delay there in the delimitation debate and all that. So that means to say that D.K. Shivakumar is not in control as far as the expansion of the cabinet and the allocation of portfolios. But unfortunately, as all of us know, that it is the prerogative of the chief minister. When Virendra Patil and other chief ministers were there, they were in a position to convince the High Command. Today, the High Command is not one person. Then it was Rajiv Gandhi in case of Virendra Patil. He told him that it's the prerogative of the chief minister and I have to run the show and control the administration. So leave it to me, and that kind of agreement was there. Today, the High Command there itself is based on certain other calculations which are based on the support for the coming elections and who could bring more kind of cash support or organization support, the kind of manipulative skills and all that. So that means to say the Karnataka kind of whatever experiment that is there under D.K. Shivakumar, no doubt he will continue as chief minister for 2 years, but will he be able to carry the same mandate, about 130 or 134 people? I doubt very much. One. Number two, even if you give a representation for a woman, the kind of insult that was inflicted on that lady, that Gayatri, that itself shows there is an insult for the woman, and the entire women folk of Karnataka will be definitely thinking that this is the kind of double standard that the Congress party has got. So therefore, there are many, many issues which Shivakumar has to do it, but the remote control in High Command, though it is done. And the fourth one is Mr. Siddaramaiah. Mr. Siddaramaiah refused to attend the cabinet swearing ceremony. Oh, and second thing is, he has also not been,
Are you saying Siddaramaiah is still sulking?
Yeah, he is in circuit. Certainly, the very fact you mentioned about Basuraj from Badgi, that itself shows that Siddaramaiah is very bent upon. And very fact, Siddaramaiah was, hard enough. He made Gayatri not to take a swearing ceremony. So that means to say, these are all very ugly and very embarrassing kind of setbacks for the Congress for the time being. And the opposition is going to take advantage. You have given them 2 kind of
You know what this has done? I'll come to that. Mr. Itnal, what it has done, it has reversed the case. People would say that Siddaramaiah is there because he represents a powerful caste group, but ultimately DK is the organizational man. Now what has happened is that it has completely reversed that thing. If DK would have been a pure play organizational man, he would have been able to manage all this. It means that the whole which we thought the DK head of the organization was great, it's not that great.
After D.K. Shivakumar took oath as chief minister, the dynamics in the Congress party of Karnataka has changed. In the face of Mr. B.K. Prasad being made the KPCC president, B.K. Prasad has a different approach towards the organization, and Siddaramaiah, he had this eye in the vote base. And that is exactly the problem. You're asking other panelists why D.K. Shivakumar is facing all these conflicting, problems. The point is, though on the paper, Chief Minister is the head of the Council of Ministers, it has to be his prerogative to select his team. But what has happened is that all 3, B.K. Prasad, D.K. Shivakumar, and Siddaramaiah, they went to High Command with 3 different list proposals, of their own followers to be inducted into the cabinet. Now, High Command also has its own idea about who should be in the cabinet. Party High Command's, thrust is towards bringing in more, young faces, more newcomers, so that the party is energized so as to face 2028 elections. But here, Siddaramaiah faction speaks in a different language. They say, if you don't respect the seniority, how will the party benefit? So what has happened in the meantime, in an attempt to balance all these three, not only just three lists, three conflicting lists, the High Command has ended up pleasing nobody. So what has happened is that now Mr. D.K, Dinesh Gundurao, he is sulking. Mr. Krishnappa, he's a very big leader in Bangalore region. So he is sulking, and H.K. Patil, and Gopal Krishna, so many of them. And come to think of it, this Vaidya, Mankala Vaidya's name was there in the list, and it is said that Mr. D.K. Shivakumar called him that he should come and take oath, and next in 1 hour he calls back saying that your name is dropped. And imagine the kind of insult this means to particular MLA or anybody who has been announced as a cabinet minister and then dropped. Now, what has happened in the aftermath? All this dissent, all this dissenting and disgruntlement needs to be pacified. For that reason only, even though cabinet is in place, portfolio allocation has not happened. Because there is a thinking that D.K. Shivakumar eventually will ask 3-4 of the current cabinet members to resign so as to accommodate the big leaders like the Dinesh Gundurao or Krishnappa or H.K. Patil or Jayachandra for that matter. So now what happens now? Again, it is rubbing salt over injury. At least 3 ministers will have to resign now if you have to balance the conflict interest. There is also regional imbalance. And look at the way they treated this lady, Gayatri Shantagowda's name. It is announced, then they call and tell her, don't take oath of office. See, the official reason was that she was not sworn in as MLC, so it is not a great idea to take oath. But according to Constitution, anybody can be sworn in as minister and be elected to either of those in 6 months. So such being the case, these are all excuses. These are real excuses, and D.K. Shivakumar knows by now. He is not. He has enough common sense to understand that it is not going to be an easy sale internally.
Okay.
He will continue to have these internal, rumblings, rest of his tenure. But at the same time, he will have to run the government also. There are also various controversies facing government.
Okay.
And
Is it Vijay? I'll come to you. I'll come to you.
D.K. Shivkumar's choice came into heavy criticism because of Nagendra's induction, who had resigned facing corruption charges, and there was not even corruption. It was straight up siphoning of the government money to private accounts.